Do you know we just finished our entire recording and then we realized that the last 20 minutes weren't recording? Right now, I just want to be like, I'm done. Because when things get hard, you don't want to do them. When you talk about like putting an obstacle to getting out of a marriage in place, it's because when it's actually hard, it's not like this, oh boy, this is hard. It's like, F this. I am done. This is stupid.
There's nothing about this I like. And if this is my one life to live, why am I doing this?
Okay, so there's a skit that we love, and it's Aziz Ansari, however you exactly say his name. And he's talking about how crazy the idea of marriage is.
Yes.
And we don't know if we can put it in for copyright purposes, but basically he says something like, hey, you know how we've been hanging out together and we've been having a lot of fun? Yeah, I want to keep doing that until you're dead. Put a ring on your finger so people know that we have an arrangement and all this kind of stuff. And it's funny, of course, but it made us think a lot about just marriage in general.
Yes.
What is it? Why do people get married? How does it work?
I had a realization thinking about the idea behind marriage, what it means, the whole thing, and realized I have been married and taken his last name longer than I had my maiden name, which is interesting in terms of your identity. I feel like that's the kid part of me and this is the adult part of me, and two separate me's. I have had your name longer and been that person.
And does it mean that I've owned you for that much time too?
Yes, so. I am his property, which, yeah, all these traditional aspects of marriage are really fascinating. So thinking about all the reasons that people get married and what and why it came about, it's really fascinating, especially as we explore different countries and see different religions and cultures.
And just live as a couple who's been married for 20 years, which...
Yeah.
And we still, in our heads, feel like we're young, but, our outside reality is not quite confirming that. So we talked in another episode about how we met and why we got married. But just as a quick recap, we met in college. It was your first year. It was my third or fourth year or something. Mm-hmm. Well, I think it was my third because I had gone on a 2-year mission. We hit it off really quickly.
Uh-huh.
We both... I think the reason we got married, number one, we were part of a religion that said that was the next step in life. That's what you were supposed to do. We were both basically looking in the back of our minds, the next major milestone in our lives was to get married. In the short term, you and I were both in kind of a lull where we didn't want to.
We were just going to take a break. It had been such a big focus.
Yeah.
And so we were both like, okay, I'm just going to put this on the back burner and live my life a little bit. And then, of course, that's when we met each other.
Yeah. But on a long-term basis, we were both planning on getting married.
Yeah.
So we did. And we got married pretty quick. She had just turned 20. We knew we wanted to get married when she was 19. I was 23 or 24. There's still a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah.
And you change and life changes over time. So it's not like you found this static person that you're like, okay, great. I know I will always think and feel the same as I do now, and you will always be the same as you are now. Therefore, we're a perfect match. Let's get married.
Yeah.
And so we've been through a lot in the last 20 years.
And although we grew up in the same religion, our families are very different. And so
the family culture.
We came from a similar culture. Again, we're both United States. We have the religious thing, but there are still so many differences there. And so I think either way, you're going to have differences. And it's easier to navigate those when you have similar values.
Why do people get married at all? What is marriage? What's it about?
That comes to mind for me is taking that next step in your relationship. I really like you. Girlfriend is one title. Wife is that next step. So really, as an expression of love, taking that next step.
I would say traditionally
some people
it does,
feel,
though. And,
yes.
And a lot of girls do feel that way.
Yes.
It's they're dating a guy and they're like, oh, has he proposed yet?
Or we've talked about marriage, or have you taken that next step? And even girls fantasize about their wedding day or their proposal. So things like that, really making your relationship stand out from others.
Yeah. So, and I would say another big one, the one that was big for us, was religion. You are supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's you're supposed to say your prayers. You're eventually supposed to get married when you find the right person.
Yep. And tradition. Both of our families were married. They had kids. Our grandparents married, had kids. So tradition there.
And I would say that is something that we've probably seen more in the whole world
Yeah.
From all the places we've been, all the people that we've met, we've heard a lot of people talk about family pressure to get married, no matter what religion they are, whether they're from India, Hindu, or whether they're Christian, or whether they're Muslim, or whether they're whatever. So I'd say that tradition thing is big.
And it feels like there's natural progression in life. As you get older, you have the one-on-one, really getting to know somebody, then you're really naming your relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. So I think following social norms, when I think of a successful person, do you have the career check? Do you have the marriage check? Do you have the family and the dog and the house check? All these social norms that come with it too around success and
Growing up,
well, even
being a mature adult.
yeah, even like if you wanted to hang out with other dudes your age, most likely they're going to be married.
It's definitely like just a thing you do.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's wrong. It's just that there are a lot of things that we do that we don't question at all.
Mhm.
And we just do them because everybody does them.
Yeah.
And again, not saying that that's a bad idea, but another thing that
Yeah.
comes to mind is people who do it for financial or legal reasons, like
Yes.
tax purposes or immigration purposes or citizenship. That's much more of a contractual arrangement. That's okay. There are some people who really want a sense of belonging, who are very afraid of being alone. They want to
Yeah.
have something locked down and feel like they're part of a family unit. They have a partner so they won't get old and alone. Yeah.
Really a lot of fears around that for sure.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older, you get nervous that your options for marrying are slimmer and slimmer, which they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so finding that partner.
Yeah.
And then I would say the last one, this is kind of tied to religion, but the physical aspect. So really committing to each other and saying, okay, but we took that next step to get married, so we can now have sex.
Mm-hmm.
So really, and again, that's a social, religious, other conformity part there. But at the end of the day, it's funny because it's really a piece of paper that says, we are now married. And maybe you wear a ring, maybe you wear different clothes, you signal something. Hopefully your behavior and attitudes change a little bit when you're married. And so that's interesting too.
I feel like you just brushed over the sex part. That's a huge one for very religious people, is that they just want to have sex, so they get married because they want to have sex. I think that's actually, it's not so PG of me to say, but or G-rated of me to say, but I think that that's quite the reality among a lot of people that we've known or known of.
Do you think they just rushed into it? Or like, do you think they still would have gotten married? I guess I'm trying to think of somebody who actually fits that mold.
Well, I think that there are a lot of people who got married quicker or with less discretion, like less critical thinking, because they were just wanting to have sex.
Interesting. I would even, it's funny to think about that just for a moment. If you remove religion, I still think that is the case for some people when they want to lock somebody down. If they're really good looking or they have an amazing job, it's like, I got to lock this person down.
Yeah.
So even if they're already sexually active before they got married, I do think there are a few reasons why people would rush into it. But yeah, I think that covers a lot of the reasons why we see or think that people might get married. What's one of your big reasons for getting married?
Well, I mean, the number one reason, honestly, if you ask me, obviously it would have been, we were in the religious camp before, but now I think that marriage legally does make it more difficult to separate. And so if you ask me, I would venture to say that one of the more impactful reasons for getting married is to say, hey, look, we know, and honestly, when you're young, you often don't know how difficult marriage is going to be. But it's sort of like, it's like saying, we know this is going to be really difficult, and there are going to be a lot of times when we want to back out of this.
Yeah.
And for various reasons and all these things. So we're going to make it like harder than just being like, see you later, we're done, you know? And
like a next level commitment.
Yeah. Well, a next level commitment and something really like a hurdle to overcome to get out of it. If you decide to have kids together, you will always be, each of you will always be a part of your kids' lives, whether or not you are married to each other.
Yeah. You just created an extra connection regardless of a marriage certificate.
Yeah. And so you want to make it more appealing to work out your problems than to get divorced. That's how I view it. Now, like, you know, because I think there are a lot of times when it's a very appealing idea to just be like, this is hard, let's just call it quits. Right?
I know, grass is greener on the other side kind of mentality.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm so dry. Well, not even grass is greener on the other side, just grass is greener not here, like anywhere but here.
Anywhere but here. No, when I
Oh,
think
whatever.
back to when we got married, no, I'm great. Thank you.
Okay.
Um, I think my biggest reason when I met you, it was so easy to talk to you.
Mhm.
And in that moment, I knew, okay, either I've met a best friend or I've met my partner. And I think for me, it's really about like a partner in crime. So I would say the partnership was the biggest. And then that unfolded to me wanting to create something more with you. So the idea of having children, expanding our family, having something that's half you, half me come together was really exciting. So creating that family unit from this partnership.
Yeah. Do you know we just finished our entire recording and then we realized that the last 20 minutes weren't recording?
Mostly I just want to be done.
I know. No,
So
can I just say that like this is like an exact like moment, like a case in point. Like I right now I kind of just want to be like, I'm done. I'm abandoning this recording of this episode because when things get hard, you don't want to do them. If they
I know.
That's the thing. If they weren't,
It's a little bit hot.
yeah,
We have
like
stuff to
if you
do.
still wanted to do it, it wouldn't actually be hard.
I know.
That's the weird thing. I'm just gonna pause it. Well, I'm not gonna pause, but like when you talk about like putting an obstacle to getting out of the marriage in place, it's because when it's actually hard, it's not like this, oh boy, this is hard. It's like, F this. I am done. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Why did we do this?
Well, and every part of your brain is like, this isn't the easy path.
Or this isn't even the good path.
Yeah, this isn't fun. This isn't exciting. This is giving me nothing. This is making me a worse person. There's nothing about this I like. And if this is my one life to live, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why?
So, but to that point, a lot of growth comes from working through those types of difficult times.
Yeah.
And that is something where I know I didn't imagine, but I don't think you can imagine beforehand, understanding that going through cycles of all those feelings, all those incredibly negative, real, true feelings, and then working through them is the thing that builds this super deep trust and like love where you're like, wow, what is marriage about? It's part shared responsibilities in life and part raising kids and part being attracted to each other and being romantic and then part sex. There's all these different things. But the more that we're together, the more I value the partnership and the friendship over almost anything else. We could, if we got, like basically, if the physical side of it went away, I would still value just having somebody that I can trust and
have fun with.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people where with all these ups and downs that we have, some up and downs include physical
challenges,
include physical limitations. For example, we have a friend who is now bound to a wheelchair. Like their relationship has changed dramatically, or there's a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
Plus the mental health side of things. One, it's really hard on your own, but it's really nice to have a partner pull you up when you're down and vice versa. It gets even harder though when both of your downs coincide.
Yeah.
And I think you have to be willing to fight through that, fight for this relationship, even when it seems like you might not want to. So having marriage be this thing that helps make it a little bit stronger and a little bit more reason to make it work is big.
And there is this psychologist guy who's online, and I don't agree with his attitude about everything, but he basically talks about disliking each other as good and as part of a relationship, because it means it's basically just like this. It's not a real marriage if you don't have times when you're basically like, I hate you. Maybe not quite to that level.
I explain this to my daughters sometimes too. When they fight or when we fight, I'm like, we're not expected to always like every single thing about each other all the time. That's not how it works.
One thing that we can definitely say, it's very important in life that you have downs, because without downs, you can't experience ups. If all of life was an up, so it's like when you're married and you have sucky times in marriage, it sucks in the moment, but it's really important for your overall like life.
And when I think about like my biggest personal jumps, it was tied to moments in time where things were either rockiest with us or trying to understand each other. And often that led us to getting closer or finding a tool that really helped, like different books that we were reading. So there are a lot of downs, but those give you some of your biggest growth too.
Just when you said tools, I'm thinking like whips and handcuffs. We're actually not into
Different
that.
types of
At
tools.
least not yet. I don't know. Maybe later.
I'm saying never say never.
But yeah, so like, would we do it again? I guess, and like, would we recommend it to other people?
No, just kidding.
I wouldn't. To be honest, we wouldn't blanket recommend anything
To anybody.
to anybody.
That's way too big of a and broad.
But I would say that as a general thing, I'm grateful for our marriage and the things that we've gone through because we've learned so many things, so much growth. Now having this partner who we've gone through ups and downs with, and you have all this trust and history with. And I do think that having a family was something that both of us wanted.
And if you think about this idea of marriage and really what is life all about?
Mm-hmm.
If life is about, it's whatever meaning you assign to life is what it's about.
Yeah.
So like what meaning do you assign to life?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you ask me, it can change over time and all that stuff. But like for me, the biggest thing is I want to have shared experiences. I want to have a group of people who like explore together and have new things. That's why I love us traveling the world and all these things, because it's like it is so cool to see something new and be like, look at that, it's so cool.
But also he remembers being a kid, he had this bag of Doritos.
Yeah.
And it's so good. He got this bag of Doritos. He bought it with his money. He can eat the
bag.
whole thing. He's very excited. His mom is very healthy, so this was a big deal. And once he finished it,
no, it was actually some friend or somebody asked for some, for some reason I ended up sharing half of it, and I was like sad at the beginning, at the outset, thinking like, oh, I wouldn't, like this.
Don't
I'm
really want to
losing,
share.
Yeah, I'm losing all my Doritos. But actually, I was like, I enjoyed this as much as I expected to enjoy a whole bag of Doritos, even though I only ate half, and it was kind of fun to share it with somebody too.
Yeah. So for us, life is a lot about experiences, and it's made so much better sharing them, and really the growth that comes from that is huge for me. To me, that is what life is about. It's about experiences and growth and that partnership of all of it.
So I think, that's pretty much it. It's like marriage is this crazy thing, but definitely worth pursuing if it's something that you want to do. And you can also define it how you want it to be. And that's what we want to talk about next time, is like the traditional gender roles in marriage, how we have sometimes followed them and other times not followed them, and really how that's worked out. Interesting.
Exactly. Until next time.